There are corners in my heart where your name grows like ivy, twining itself through forgotten arches of my soul, blooming in the silence between breaths. I walk there sometimes when the world feels too loud, when duty weighs upon my crown, and I must remember that beneath the gold I am only a girl who has loved. Your laughter drifts through the leaves, a secret melody known only to me, and I press my hand to the stone walls that once felt cold, but now pulse with warmth because you have been here. In spirit, in thought, in everything. The air smells of quiet rain and something sweet. Maybe the promise of you, a wild vine that refused pruning. I've learned not to fight its reach. Instead, I let it weave around my ribs, tender but strong, until I can no longer tell where I end and you begin. Sometimes I imagine you walking beside me here, though the garden is hidden from all but my heart's memory. You would touch the petals with your fingertips, the same way you once traced the back of my hand when words failed us. You'd laugh softly at my solemnity, say love is meant to be lighter than this, yet stay to listen as I spoke of the quiet storms it brings. I'd tell you how the flowers only open at dawn, when the world holds its breath, and how they close when twilight falls. Like me, opening and closing with the rhythm of your nearness. There's a secret gate in this place, one only you can pass through. I left it unlocked the day you smiled at me across a room, and every heartbeat since has been its echo. I think of the first time you looked at me not as a princess, but as someone you could lose yourself in. The air that day shimmered with summer's breath, and even the roses seemed to blush beneath your gaze. My guards stood near, unaware that a rebellion was beginning, not one of nations, but of hearts. You disarmed me without blade or word, only by being kind. I remember how the moment stretched between us, fragile as spun glass. I could hear the blood in my veins whisper your name, though I dared not speak it aloud. Love, I learned then, is both armor and surrender. I felt your gaze like sunlight through leaves, and I knew I would never be untouched again. Nights now, when the moon watches from its high tower, I walk barefoot through my secret garden. The soil remembers your warmth, though you have never stepped upon it. I whisper to the wind, asking if it still carries your scent, the one of ink and cedar that clings to the edges of my memory. Sometimes, I swear, I feel you in the air, your breath mingling with mine, unseen but undeniable. I wonder if somewhere you too look at the night sky and think of me, the girl behind the glass, whose heart is no longer hers. My crown feels lighter when I think of you, as though it knows it's worn for something beyond ceremony, for the love that crowns me silently in your absence. Each morning brings your echo in a new form, a sparrow's song, a stray beam of sunlight, the rustle of silk as I dress for another day of pretense. Yet beneath the weight of duty, your presence endures like an unspoken vow. I hide it behind practiced smiles, behind words shaped for diplomacy and not desire. But in the stillness, when I let myself be only Leonor, not princess, not heir, I find you. You exist there, in the tender pause before my breath, in the ache that is sweet and sharp all at once. The world may never know, but love thrives best when hidden, shielded from the harshness of eyes that would not understand its sacred quiet. I sometimes dream of the life that could have been if our paths were not divided by crowns and borders. I see us beneath olive trees, the sea breathing softly nearby, your hand brushing stray strands from my face as I laugh. truly laugh, without measure or caution. You'd tease me for my endless thinking, and I'd tell you that every thought ends with you. I wake with tears, not of sorrow, but of longing so deep it hums in my bones. Perhaps, in another world, our love would not need to hide among the roots. But here, in this one, I've found peace in the secret tending of it, as a gardener does with something precious and rare. There are moments when the weight of what I cannot say presses too heavily upon me. In council, my voice is calm, poised, rehearsed, but inside, every word is touched by your memory. I wish I could speak of you openly, let your name bloom in the air like a rose at dawn. Yet I protect you, as I protect this garden, from the storms that swirl beyond its walls. If love must live unseen, then let it live in full bloom in the hidden soil of my heart. I've come to believe that secrecy does not lessen its truth. It only deepens it, like roots buried beneath the earth, unseen, but sustaining all that grows above. Sometimes I write to you in letters I never send. The ink carries the tremor of my pulse, and the paper drinks the salt of my tears. I tell you of my days, of ceremonies, of silences, of the way my heart still listens for footsteps that will never echo down the palace halls. I write of the ache that never dims, but also of the beauty it brings, how it has made me softer, wiser, more alive. I fold each letter and place it beneath the same tree where I first dreamed of you, as though the earth might carry it to wherever you are. The wind always stirs then, as if to say it will. If you could see the way my heart moves when your name crosses my mind, you'd understand that love is not an emotion, it's a landscape, and within it, I have built a world where we are endless. Every petal that falls is a promise renewed, every dawn a whispered reunion. Even time seems gentler here, as though it too kneels before what we are. I do not fight the ache anymore. I wear it as a jewel, proof that something pure once found me. You are the secret symmetry of my days, the reason every silence feels holy. My love, I do not need forever, only this truth that you exist in me, always. There are nights when I imagine you returning, stepping through the hidden gate as if you had always known the way. The garden would hold its breath, the stars would lower themselves to watch. I would not speak first, words would feel too small. You would reach for my hand, and I would remember every reason I ever learned to hope. We would stand in the hush, two souls stitched back together by time's patient mercy. The vines would tremble with joy, the flowers unfold in reverence. And I would whisper then, not as a princess, not as a dreamer, but as the woman who has always loved you beyond what the world allows. Welcome home.